Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters. We got a new Ghostbusters movie. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. We're gonna review this thing. Let's go. Ghostbusters Frozen Empire stars McKenna Grace, Paul Rudd, Carrie Coon, Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Ernie Hudson, and is directed by Gil Kenan. What's up, guys? Welcome to a brand new 2024 review, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. It feels like just yesterday that the last Ghostbusters movie came out. Was that 2 years ago, 3 years ago? I can't even remember. Remember I just reviewed The Day After Tomorrow a couple months ago, I think, or something like that. And the entire East Coast was completely, actually the entire Northern Hemisphere was completely frozen over. So kind of reminded me of that, this movie. The premise, you got this god, Garaka, who has the power to freeze over, the planet. And it's up to the Ghostbusters, all 17 of them, to stop this madness. That's your basic plot of this movie. I believe Ivan Reitman, rest in peace, actually had a hand in writing this. Maybe he had some ideas about this story, but it's not directed by his son Jason Reitman like the last one. It's directed by Gil Kenan, and I think that shows. Look, guys, I went into this movie not knowing what to expect. I thought it was going to be really, really good, and I will say this is the movie I think this year that's going to be right down the middle for me. There's definitely some things I liked, not loved, and there's some things that kind of annoyed me about this movie. So there's a lot I can discuss. I'll start out with the good. McKenna Grace as Phoebe, just like the last movie, she steals the freaking show in this. I actually adore that character. I think just as much as the original Ghostbusters from the 80s movies. She's that strong of a character. In this movie, she's older, but she's still not quite of age, and that is an issue in this movie. At the beginning, the Ghostbusters get in trouble, and they actually bench her, pretty much, because she's just not 18 yet, right? And Paul Rudd steps into a half role, as he's supposed to be like kind of a fatherly figure to her, but he doesn't know how to deal with that yet, So he's in like a transitioning period. Paul Rudd's always infectious, right? He's that actor today that it's hard not to love the guy. And I think he has a playbook that he goes by in these movies, a comedy playbook where, he's kind of like the dad role trying to be cool, but he's not cool enough. He plays that character so well. And I think it's just because of the relatability of it. I think us older guys that are trying to maybe fit in with a little bit of the younger crowd, we're trying to be edgy, we're trying to be cool, but we just don't quite sell it yet. I think he is our ambassador for that. And he's that actor that men love him, women love him because he's easy on the eyes, and you can't go wrong with Paul Rudd. Nadeem Razmati plays Kamal. He has an ancestor, right? And he's trying to sell off a lot of his stuff. He's trying to get some money. And he sells off this artifact. And I think just the art of him trying to sell everything in his house is some nice comic relief. He has really come along as a great, gifted comedic actor. He has a delivery that works. I think some actors, they try comedy and it doesn't work that well for them. He's got it. He really does. And I think there's quite a few scenes with him in this that you are definitely getting some nice chuckles. And he's an important character in the movie. Imagine he's like our only hope, right? Because he is an ancestor and he happens to be very important in that line. And really, they're kind of the first line of defense against the evil in this movie, Garaka. So I guess broad strokes as far as the pros of this movie, I think it's a fun Saturday afternoon movie. It's not going to change your life or anything. And I think that's a good segue into the cons of this. Rewatchability wise, I don't think this movie has much of it. I think I had a really good time with it. The jokes are what I'd call like safe, fun jokes, but they're not like side splitting or anything. As a Ghostbusters movie, it's far from the best. Doesn't even hold a candle to the original. And like my rating of this movie, it pretty much just rides the line. I don't even know if it's better than the last movie. I don't think it is. I think the last movie was directed better than this one, but the elements that worked about the last movie are here in this movie as well. Now, I guess one of the biggest problems of this, and they kind of advertised it in the trailer, that the original, the old guard, Peter Venkman, of course, they're going to have a bigger role in this one. And yes and no. There are certain characters in this that are laced throughout the movie. Dan Aykroyd, even Ernie Hudson as Winston. But Peter Venkman is completely just kind of wasted. He only pops up here and there a couple of times. It's almost like some of the jokes that he throws out, they feel like they could have been throwaway jokes in like the original movies, right? Like Peter Venkman is an iconic character. And he had just so many lines, and you could tell that Bill Murray was just kind of going off the cuff and really throwing out some zingers back in the day. And I think he was the glue that made those movies special. But also those movies had just wonderful plots, wonderful characters. Rick Moranis, oh my God, loved the guy to death. Say goodbye to Peter Venkman. He's not what he was before. It's almost like an AI version of Peter Venkman. This movie has, I think, too many characters. I think this movie should have just gotten rid of the OG characters, unless they had a pivotal role in the actual plot of this movie. I think this movie would have been just fine with the newer characters. Phoebe could easily steer this ship, and I think this movie would have been better off for it. But there are so many characters, and everybody's trying to get some screen time here, that it gets in the way of the movie. Finn Wolfhard doesn't really do much here. His gimmick here is that he is 18 years old, and so the joke is that he's trying to prove that he's an adult, but they don't explore that at all. It's pretty much just attempted comic relief that doesn't really land. And then there's like a section of the movie where he's gone. Like, where in the hell did Finn Wolfhard go? For like 45 minutes, and then he just kind of pops up again. They mostly focus on Phoebe and this ghost-like character by the name of Melody, which I do like that section of the movie. I guess I should have put it in the pros. But you forget because there's just so many characters in this and so much going on. And I think they're just spending so much time trying to get to know all these characters. And then, oh, by the way, we got to go over to the villain, Garaka, over here. And Garaka doesn't really stand out. And he should with the power that he has, but he doesn't really. So, man, overall, guys, I still don't know if I want to give this like a negative or a positive rating. It's so right down the middle for me, and it's kind of frustrating. So I guess for right now, I'll just give it a low humdrum, barely passing. I didn't regret going to see it. I had a decent time, but I'll probably never watch it again. All right, and that's a shame because I was looking forward to this movie. So I guess I'm looking forward to hearing your thoughts. Let me know down in the comments for Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. Looking forward to hearing them. It's not as bad as the 2016 one, though. I guarantee you that. All right. Anyway, guys, let me know what you guys think. Also, be sure to come over to Killer Flicks, where we talk horror all day and every day. And on Fridays, we do Free for Fridays. Follow me at Drumdums on all my socials. Support me on Patreon. Buy me a coffee. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Have a good day. Drumdum out.